Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to put it out right out front. If there's an interruption in any way, shape, or form, just give me a second. I will get back in line as soon as I possibly can. So look for me again if there's a problem here. Okay, just putting it out there at the beginning. The last stream went okay with no issues, but you never know with YouTube what's going to happen. All right, so we're going to be talking about lots of things tonight. We're going to be talking about the actual flu epidemic, supposed flu epidemic in the United States. And there's a lot of other interesting information that I want to share with you guys, okay, about the whole Wuhan, and the virus and the whole the whole thing that's going on over in China right now. Okay, so we're going to get into all of that here very, very shortly. I just wanted to remind everybody again, this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. So please be decent in the chat and your comments with each other. If you are not, I have my awesome moderators that will boot you out of here. We will not tolerate any kind of nonsense. So just be decent and don't play games, please. If you do, like I said, you're going to be gone. So just please be decent and we're going to go from there, okay? So anyway, one of those kind of days today here at the homestead. Didn't do anything. I didn't even really get dressed today. I stayed in my lounge pants all day. Went to take the dogs in and out a few times and, take care of the chickens and got 7 eggs though today. So that was pretty good. So happy about that. Just real miserable weather. It finally stopped snowing, but what are you going to do? It's just kind of how it goes. It's Lucy jumping. He just went up. He likes to sit up on top of the buckets. He has a spot up there he likes to sit. So that's what you saw, the shaking. So anyway, all right, so let's get into this. I want to talk about real quick about the normal flu epidemic that is going on right now in the country. So it's the worst one in a long, long time. They're saying there has been 15 million cases of the flu this season so far. Okay, and that's a rough estimate. So far, they're saying that 8,300 people have died from the flu this season. Now, with everybody going out and getting their flu shots and all that type of stuff. Again, I never get a flu shot again. Since I retired, I'll never, ever get a flu shot again because you don't know what they're putting in it, and there's a whole lot of things with that. But so anyway, there's a lot of schools are closing down. And you got to remember something. With schools, they try to stay open no matter what because it's money in their pocket if that school's open. So when a school decides to close down, what they do is either the teachers or they have somebody come in and they disinfect the whole school, trying to get rid of the bugs that are going around and stuff like that. Schools are the worst, especially elementary schools. Those kids, they touch everything. They're snotting everywhere. It's horrible. It's like I when I was a young man, never ever got sick, hardly ever got sick. Had my kids when I was 36, and then as soon as they started school, man, we got everything. Everything. It was horrible. So, but what are you going to do? And now they're grown, and I got sick last year. As you guys know, I was out down for about 2 weeks. Didn't feel real well. So that happens as well. But anyway, so let's get into other things here. So we're going to talk about cruise ships to start out with, okay? So there's a cruise ship right now off of Japan, all right, that is quarantined. They started out with 10 cases on this cruise ship of positive for coronavirus. Now that number's up to 61 people on that cruise ship that have the coronavirus. Of those 61, 11 of them are Americans. That's kind of scary in itself, okay? So on top of that, there's the other cruise ship, which is outside of Hong Kong that's also quarantined. And so they're making them do a mandatory 2-week quarantine. So having said that, so we got this ship in Hong Kong. We have another ship in Japan where they are quarantining the people. The one in Japan, again, already 61 positive cases of the coronavirus on the ship. And so I'm sure those numbers are going to rise. They're quarantining the rest of those people. We just had a ship. They came into New Jersey. Now, I want you guys to think about this for a second, all right? And if I'm wrong in my information, please correct me. They took, there was about 6,000 people, I think, on this ship that came into New Jersey. They tested 27 people that had been to mainland China, okay, that were on the ship. 4 of them they took to local hospitals in New Jersey for further evaluation, is what they said, all right? And then from what I'm understanding is they did not quarantine the rest of those people. They let them go. Now, if I'm wrong on that, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I would hope to God that I'm wrong, because if I'm not wrong and they did let those people go, when new people get sick, the quarantine starts over. Prepper 101 says when the ship have people getting sick, the 14-day quarantine starts over. Okay, but the one guys that the one in New Jersey, from my understanding, they let everybody else just go. 6,000 people, just go ahead, go, and plus the 23 that did not test positive for the coronavirus. If that is the case, and I'm going to share my thought on that. If that is the case, and if I'm right with that, yes, they let them go. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of people said that yes, they let them go. Okay. My thought on that is they are spreading this virus on purpose, or they want it to spread. Why are you letting those people go? That's what I truly, guys, it boggles my mind. Why would you let these people go? Why would you not quarantine them like Japan has done, like Hong Kong has done, to make sure? There's no guarantee that they're not asymptomatic and that they're spreading this virus around. There's no guarantee of that. So very, very scary stuff. Yep, I got a lot of people saying that, yes, it let them go. Yeah. Right now, the ship is not leaving until the CDC tests them to come back tomorrow. So again, now I'm getting different information again. So whichever way it is, if they let the people leave, that's insanity, in my opinion. Absolute insanity. Guys, if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet to show support for the channel, I would appreciate if you would do that. I see that we're like, 700 people in the chat. We're at 220 on the thumbs up. So if you would give me some support, I would appreciate that. And thank you ahead of time. I'm going to say, too, real quick, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also hit that bell icon so you get all notifications. I live stream 3 days a week, and I put up videos every single day. So just to let everybody know that doesn't know, okay? But so then I also heard there's another ship out to sea right now that has positive corona cases on it, but they can't find a port to come into. So that's interesting as well, that there's no ports or letting them come in at this time. Captain Steubing released the passengers. That's very funny, Robert Blakemore. And the funny thing is, when you say that, a lot of people will have no idea what you're talking about. I do, unfortunately, because I'm old. Hey, Michael Holiday, no joke. Consider going to the dock and telling them I had unprotected. Hold on a second. No, hold on. I'm not going to say what kind of sex that you said that you had. Yeah, why would you? I don't get that. That's not even funny in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not going to finish reading the rest of that comment. But I will say thank you for the donation. If you thought I was going to read that whole thing out, then you were absolutely wrong. So guys, if you saw that comment, just let that one go. Anyway, so they talked to people from Canada. They didn't know anyone was even sick. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of scary. That's very, very scary. There's a lot of stuff going on, guys. There's a lot of misinformation going on. And I love this, too. They're saying, and this is what I find is very interesting, the World Health Organization, the CDC, they're saying, and, they're working with Google and YouTube and all that to try to stop the spread of misinformation. Well, what information are they giving us? Are we being given accurate information? So let me give you the latest numbers here. Over 30, according to what they're giving us. Okay, let's go just by what they're giving us. According to what they're giving us, we're looking at 33,000 people infected. We're looking at 719 dead, and they're saying that 1,763 have recovered. Okay, they don't even have the suspected cases. That number as well. They don't have that. The sheep are finally waking up. Sensual Digest just said that. Thank you very much for that donation as well. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think people are starting to wake up, unfortunately. Again, I think this is a time, again, hopefully anybody that's been watching this channel for any length of time, I hope that you guys have been getting ready, preparing to shelter in place, because I'm telling you right now, White House asks science to investigate whether the 2019 Was bioengineered. Okay, Harvey Black just said that they're trying to figure out if it was bioengineered. There is talk that it has been bioengineered. Again, I gave you my opinion on that, and I don't have any factual information to back that up. But hey, Aaron, I seen a video of a guy in an elevator. I think in China, he was spitting on the napkin and wiping the elevator buttons, and people tried to stop him. Yeah, what is wrong with people? Thank you very much for that donation as well. People are sick. I mean, people are twisted, and that's just craziness. Why would people do that? But yeah, it's a sick world. It's a real sick world we live in, and there's a lot of twisted people out there. Sadly, there's a lot of twisted people. Just topped off my supplies. Very good. Ready to shelter in place for 3 months. Very cool. Please Google protest inhibitors and use for. Hey, Michael Holiday. Okay, for the virus. Okay. All right, and thank you very much for the donation, and that's a better comment than the other one. I heard that they're using AIDS drugs to treat the virus as well. So that's a weird thing. If that hasn't been bioengineered into the virus, how is there an AIDS virus in this virus? So that kind of really opens it up a lot for. I mean, it's speculation again. I'm not saying that this is a cold hard fact and this is the way it is. It's all speculation. We don't know. We will never, ever be given the full true information. But I will definitely say that I encourage you guys to get ready to shelter in place, because what is going on, and as things continue to get worse, and I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, they are a lot worse than they're letting us know, because they're trying to avert panic. Because as soon as people really truly realize that this is something that is widespread and not just in China, that it really is all over the place and it's being spread all over, people are going to panic. They're going to be empty. They're going to empty the stores out. There's going to be nothing in the stores, and then you're going to have people will not go to work. The economic impact of this alone is going to be devastating. Okay, not just for China, but for everybody else as well. Because, like, you just look at how much, and I talked about this the other day, how many of our products come out of China. And if they got, so here's the other thing. Now, I just heard this today, and again, I can't give 100% confirmation of this, but I just heard that China has now locked down 400 million people. Their fourth largest city with 15 million people, which is basically almost twice the size of New York City. It's really bad and getting worse. Delsa Hall just said that. And thank you very much, Delsa, for that donation. Hey, Sheena Wilson, how much water is needed in the cheapest storage? Thank you very much for the donation. And, oh, my goodness, we got Hope. Hey, Hope, how you doing tonight? Thank you very much for the donation, Hope. Water, 1 gallon per person per day. That's for drinking, cooking, and washing up, okay? The best way to store water, if you really want to do that, get one of those big blue 50-gallon barrels. It's the best way to store water. So I hope that answers your question. I would get it in any kind of container that I possibly could if you were really looking to shelter in place. That includes the president of China. He's in lockdown too. Wow, JJ just said the president is also, well, because he's in Beijing. So I know, like I said, if you're talking 400 million people are right now in a mandatory lockdown in China. Think about those numbers. That's more people that are in the United States altogether. That's like locking down our whole country. And again, I love when people say, well, that couldn't happen here. They won't lock us down. People won't stand for it, blah, blah, blah. If there is a disease, guys, going around, and if the true numbers ever really come out of what the death rate of this thing is, and, okay, so let's look at the movie The Stand, okay? If it got like that, and this virus goes around and it has a really high mortality rate, you're going to see people are going to get really scared. They're not going to be out and about. They're not. And if they are, they're going to go out armed. They're going to be looking to take. They're going to be looking to hurt or whatever they want to do. But again, really scary stuff in reality. Really, really. The reality is that I believe that the coronavirus is already here and it's widespread. My self-treatment plan, one amoxicillin. Hold on a second. I'm going to go back to that real quick. One amoxicillin, $20, PrEP, antivirals, and oxygen concentrators, $300. Thank you, Michael Holiday. Thank you for that donation, and thank you for that comment. Mike says, do you worry about your children since they're not isolated like you? Also, please consider your relationship with God. Thank you. Okay, Mike Bushman just said that. And yeah, hold on one second. One more comment. With New York now being a very large hub, if not the largest, how can New York have one case? Believe me, I hope this is true, but I feel it is not. Okay, so first of all, I'm very, very concerned about my children. I'll be honest with you. With my daughter in college, with a lot of exchange students, I absolutely worry about that. We had a discussion. I saw my kids yesterday. We talked about if things continue to accelerate and get worse, they will be coming home. Okay. So yes, I'm very, very concerned about my children. So I think about it all the time. I'll be honest with you. Okay. So that is very much a concern of mine. As far as one case in New York, I believe that is an underestimate, to be honest with you. I think it's a lot more widespread, especially New York City being 8.5 million people. Or I think, no. Yeah, I think it's 8.5 million. I think 8.5 million people in New York City. So yeah, I think that's a lot more widespread than we're being told. And I think as things accelerate, I think a lot of it is being dismissed as the flu. As things continue to accelerate and get worse, I think we're going to then people are going to panic. And so, like I said, we still have, even at this point, at this late point, I should say, we still have a small window of opportunity to get ready, to prepare, to shelter in place. If you have not done so yet, guys, you really, really need to do it. I don't know how much more adamant I can be about that. As you know, I have made plans. I went out, did more shopping, got more supplies for my dogs, my cats, my birds. I picked up more things like that as well. I got more medical supplies. I did a video. I showed some of the stuff that I had picked up. I got a bunch more food and stuff as well. So, I'm trying to get ready the best that I possibly can. Hope for the best and prepare for the worst. And I think we all really need to be thinking about that right now. We really do. Guys, we got almost 1,000 people in the chat, and we're at 412 on the thumbs up. So if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I absolutely would appreciate it. Let's get that number jumped up there. I am going to mention, too, again, right now on my website, preppernurse1.com, we are still doing the sale. ICU, ER, RNK. I appreciate your super information. Thank you very much, and thank you for that donation as well. On my website right now, we got somebody else here. The All-Seeing Cat. I'm taking your advice on the coronavirus. Good. I'm glad that you are. And thank you very much for that donation as well. I do appreciate that. So anyway, guys, on the website right now, we have the sale going on all the legacy freeze-dried foods. It's 20% off of everything. The price that you see, 20% will be taken off at checkout when you check out. The only thing not on sale is the sample packs. Okay, so if you are looking for long-term food storage, and again, the best part about it is if this thing blows over, which I hope it does, but I don't think that it will. Hey, as a doctor, I suspect the death rate is 20 to 30%. Yeah, I just had a really good conversation with him the other day on the phone. He is a doctor, and I think you're right. I think the death rate is a lot higher than they're letting on. So thank you very much, and thank you for that donation as well. But again, with the freeze-dried food, it's got a 25-year shelf life. So if this thing does blow over, that food is going to be good for long-term for 25 years. It's GMO-free. It's made in the U.S., so again, I'm putting it out there. You don't have to buy my freeze-dried food. Whatever freeze-dried food fits your fancy, I absolutely think you should do it at this point. Hey, Delsa Hall, thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. But I think that you guys, food. I've talked about that. Water. Prepare to shelter in place. Have medical supplies. Get those masks if you haven't gotten them yet, because they're getting very scarce from what I understand. Okay. Just get ready, guys, because there's too many unknowns. I want you to think about something here, and I think this is really important. We're going to go back to Wuhan, China for a second, okay? The city's been in lockdown now for quite a while, right? Hey, Mark Chow, will you pick up Heather if it gets way worse? Yes, I already told her that if it gets way worse, I will go and get her. So, yeah. It would really, I'll make that call probably before the average person would make that call, but we're going to keep an eye on stuff. The numbers every day are going up with what we're being given. I think those numbers are a lot higher. Everybody has seen by this point the release numbers that weren't supposed to be released that came out. Are those numbers factual? It seems like it'd be more likely that, yes, that's a more factual number. And if that is the case, And the number that stood out of those released numbers that weren't supposed to be released was only 259 people recovered. That was the scariest thing of that I saw, not what they're saying, because they're saying like 1,700 people have recovered. It said 259 people recovered, and that over 24,000 were dead. So that is the most scary thing to me. So anyway, again, I wanted to get back to what I was saying. And what are they? The numbers that they were given, that they were saying that 157,000 people were sick, that they said that 79,000 people were susceptible. I keep messing up that word. That they think are sick, and then there was 24,000 deaths, and that they said that there was only, and this is going back a few days ago now, so I'm sure those numbers are much higher. They were saying that only 259 people had recovered. That's what was released by accident. I don't know if it was truly by accident or design. I don't know. But again, what I was going to tell you was, going back to Wuhan, China, they have a hard time. Oh, I got buddies wanting to come in. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. Sorry about that. It's cold out, and I don't want him to be out if he doesn't have to be. And he went out like maybe 10 minutes ago. Well, before the show started. So, I figured he's ready to come in. So, anyway, again, we're 1,000 people in the chat. We're at 543 on the thumbs up. If you haven't done so yet, please, guys, shoot me a thumbs up to show support. Also, if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. I load every day. I live stream 3 days a week. Okay, so 12,000 dead this flu season in the U.S. Aaron is saying that. Well, the number I got was 8,300, but I'm not going to dispute that. It wouldn't surprise me if that was the number. A lot of people have died in the U.S. from the flu this year. And again, is it the real flu or is it something else? That would be my question, to be honest with you. And there's what we don't know, because the coronavirus, lo and behold, surprise, surprise, masks as the flu. Same symptoms. So all these deaths that we've had here in the United States already from the flu, okay, is it really the flu? That would be a question that I would definitely be curious to see what the answers to that would be as well. There's 2 more planes came in with another 300 Americans out of Wuhan. One is going, let's see, I wrote it down here and I just want to make sure I tell you right. Let's see. One is going to Texas and one is going to Nebraska. So you got that many more people are coming in. They're going to isolate them for 2 weeks. So again, going back to that thing with the cruise ship in New Jersey, why would they let the rest of those people go and only take 4 people to the hospital and not quarantine the rest of the people on that ship? That would be really, really concerning to me. If this thing, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if this thing really jumps off and takes off, which it does seemingly continue to do, and has the potential to do, and if we're ever really truly given the true numbers of what the numbers are, which we never will be, okay, because they don't want to incite panic. Again, that is their biggest thing. They want to control the narrative. China tried to control the narrative. It is out of control in China, as we all know right now. And the numbers that they're giving out of China, not even close to being the right numbers, and we know that as well. I mean, that's a fact. You don't quarantine that many people. Now the number, from what I just heard today, is up to 400 million people are quarantined in China. That is more people than that are in the United States. That's more. So that's like quarantining the entire country. So craziness. So let's see, what do we got? Reported today possibly 2 cases in Sacramento. And that, you know what, that really wouldn't surprise me at all. And I find it peculiar, the location for these quarantines. Probably military bases. Schmitty is my guess. That's what they're putting these different people on, isolated military posts. That would be my guess. Beijing is in lockdown. Okay, yep. So you're talking another huge area. And like I said, 400 million people now in China on lockdown. 2% death rate matches what's being seen out of China also. Peter Rouse just said that. That's what they're saying the death rate is. Again, is that the true number? What I was going to get back to what I was talking about in the city of Wuhan, to be able to go to the hospital there, that you had to have some kind of ticket to get permission to go to the hospital, because if you didn't have it, they just sent you back home. Okay. My question would be, how many people, and I want you guys to think about this. We got 9 million people in the city of Wuhan. How many people are dead in their homes? That would be something that I would be really curious to see what that number is. And who's going to go in there and get them out, you know? The Illuminati is working very hard to mess us up. I don't know if it's necessarily that. Do I believe that this was released? Maybe on purpose, maybe not. Like I said, my thought is, and I'm going to stick with it, because of the genome of this virus. They're saying, it has the AIDS in there and all kinds of other stuff. They did a breakdown of this virus. Excuse me. I believe that it was engineered. That's my opinion. I'm going to say that, just to be really clear. That's my opinion, that it was engineered. I think it either escaped or was released on purpose. One of those two things. And that's how this thing got started. Not from some fish market down there and from bad soup. I don't buy that for a reason at all. Again, in the beginning of this thing, they pretty quickly locked down 50 million people. Now that number's up to 400 million people in lockdown. They're trying to contain it. I believe that it is spreading crazy. It's highly, highly contagious. The incubation period on this thing of 2 weeks is probably one of the most frightening things, because people are contagious. They're walking around just talking normally. Small pieces of spit will come out of your mouth. Not intentionally, obviously, but they come out. Get on other people. It happens. There's a video of empty streets in Wuhan being sprayed down with some sort of disinfectant. I did see that as well, JJ. People were videotaping that out their windows. I did see that. And what's going on? That would be there's, like I said, and again, you have all these people on lockdown staying in their apartments, and there's people that are a lot of people that are sick. I saw that the one person, I won't go. Hold on a second. These guys, these are going by so fast. What videos? I need to see this. If you just look up Wuhan, China, and disinfectant spray, and I'm sure that would come up if you're looking for that. But bat soup and snake cake is just a cover-up. Exactly. Choo Choo just said that. Exactly. Hey, Choo Choo, you going on any more cruises anytime soon? I'll bet you're not. How much bleach to 1 gallon of water would be used as a disinfectant? I think the ratio is I believe it's 10 to 1. So I'm not 100% sure exactly. You could look right on that bottle of bleach, and it should tell you what the rate is right on there. But it's something like that. Now, I would go stronger. That's just me. But some people on here are saying that the virus is harming is fake news. I don't believe this is fake, guys. If you want to, and I'll tell you why I don't believe this is fake. You have that many people locked down in China, okay? Economically, it is destroying them. Destroying them. What do you think? I mean, first of all, let's think about the logistics. Let's just think about the logistics of feeding 400 million people in lockdown. Think about that, number one. Think about 400 million people not going to work, not getting out there and spending their hard-earned money, not making products to send to the United States. 400 million people, okay? Think about that. That's what if the U.S. goes on lockdown? George Shannon just asked it. I think that is a possibility in time. I think that if this thing really takes off, which I think that it will, and that's, again, those are my opinions, but there's no way the spread of this has been spreading, and they're trying to contain it and keep it under wraps. I think that it's a lot worse than we're being told. I think there's a lot more than 12 people in the United States that have the virus. Yeah, fake news doesn't equal dead people. Nancy Wilson just said that. You're right. And there's a lot of dead people. And the reports that are coming out that the numbers are greatly higher than are being reported. I think this, like I said, what the doctor earlier said, he believes that the death rate is anywhere between 20 and 30%. Now, let's say they do a lockdown in the United States, and if the death toll, the rate is 20 to 30%, plus if you get the virus and you survive, think about the worst flu you've ever had and times that by 2 to 3. That's what I'm hearing, how bad this flu is. So this is something that's very debilitating, that is going to knock people out. Hey, Ellie James, XI has not been seen in days, and no pressers. Yeah, well, I know that guy that was reporting over there, they did get him, and he disappeared. And I understand that there's a lot of people that are trying to speak out about the truth are disappearing over there. Again, they're trying to control the narrative, so that is going to happen. Guys, I see we're sitting at 1.2 in the chat. We're at 659 on the thumbs up. So if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, I actually would ask you to do that to show support for the channel again. And thank you very much for doing that. And again, if you are not subscribed, please make sure you do subscribe to the channel so you get all the notifications, and make sure you hit that bell icon as well. So how long will it take until we know what the threat is over? When will we know? That is a great question. I think we'll know how bad it is, to be honest with you, within the next couple of weeks. Let's put it like this. If we have a continued acceleration of this virus over the next couple of weeks, and then it starts spreading here in the United States, then you want to look at China as the example, and how fast it is spread over there. That's how fast it would spread here. Again, my big thing, and I'm going to say it over and over and over again, you better be prepared to shelter in place. Water, food, medications, way to do sanitation, to get rid of your waste. Have all those things. And again, if you're going to get rid of your waste, contractor garbage bags, guys. I highly, highly recommend that you have contractor garbage bags. I got the flu and I'm 41, haven't caught a cold since about 10 years old. It was bad. Oh, I believe it. Well, first of all, the flu that's going around this year is really, really bad, so they're saying. But again, my question would be, is it really the flu or is it the coronavirus? And they're not saying. So again, they're going to try to control the narrative as long as they possibly can. I'm not going to sit on here, guys, and I'm not going to do gloom and doom. I won't do it. Hey, Ellie James, President has not been seen. Yeah, they said he's in hiding. I heard that. And again, Beijing is now on lockdown too. So I'm sure he's sequestered away someplace nice and safe. And they're probably definitely taking care of him. And thank you very much for that donation as well. So I'm not going to get on here, guys. I don't do doom and gloom. I'm going to give you my opinion. We are never, ever going to be ever given the truth. That is my opinion. Do I think this thing is much worse than they're saying? I do. Do I think it'll get bad here in the U.S.? I do. Buy a nebulizer and hang on to your kids' albuterol vials and inhalers. Very good. The Math, Music, and Life just said that. And thank you very much for the donation. Yeah, guys, if you can get your hands on a nebulizer and get some albuterol treatments. So, okay, I got to tell you this, and I'm just going to pass this along. You can do with it as you will. I'm not going to tell you what to do because that's not what I would do. But if you can get a hold of different medications to treat, like albuterol treatments and stuff like that, and if you can get a hold of a nebulizer, you can go to a facility. I don't care if it's a nursing home, hospital, long-term care, whatever it may be. There's always going to be somebody there willing to acquire things for you for cash. So I'm just going to put that out there. So people are saying, I had somebody ask me, I'm having a hard time getting this, that, or the other stuff. And I said, you go to a hospital and you're not obviously going to talk to management. You're going to talk to regular staff and say, here's my laundry list. And obviously you're not looking for narcotics. That's not what you're looking for. That's a whole different kettle of fish. But if you're looking for things to prepare, IVs or whatever it may be, talk to people on, hospital staff. You'd be surprised who'd be willing, if the price is right, to acquire things for you. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that is an opportunity to do that way. And of course, Reese is calling me. Reese, if you're watching, I'm doing a live stream, so I can't answer your call. So I'll have to call him afterwards. But so anyway, again, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you can do that if you wish to. Does Buterol expire? You know what? Honestly, I don't have the answer for that question. I will look it up, though, and I will let you know later on. I will find out. I think it does have a shelf life like everything else. But, yeah, I do believe it does have a shelf life, but I will find out how long that is, okay, just so you know. Do you think that they could put this virus in drinking water and tap water? That's a good question, Jason. I don't know. I know that it is airborne for sure, so it can transfer from person to person. That alone is scary, to be honest with you. So yeah, I think that, I don't think that it would probably, hard to say if they could get it into water or not. I really don't know. Um, Oh, okay. Here for the real news says yes, it expires. I kind of figured that it did, but I don't know what that is, the shelf life of it. But I will find that out, and I will let you guys know for sure. Okay. What do we need to have to survive this? All right. What my suggestion is, guys, what I would be doing right now is I would be pounding vitamin C. I would be pounding vitamin D. Make sure you're taking your calcium. Those are things, and there's no such thing as too much vitamin C. Whatever you don't use, your body will get rid of it. Okay. You can take, I think, 5,000 or 6,000 units of vitamin D a day, and that's fine. But I would load up on those type of things. I would be taking them now. I have been taking more vitamin C than I normally do, I'll be honest with you. Okay. But those are some good things to have. To fight it, you're going to want to, like I said, if somebody in your house gets it, you're going to want to isolate them, first of all. That's important. You're going to want to make sure everything is clean. And so that's where bleach comes in. Make sure you're bleaching everything, cleaning everything, using precautions, making sure that hopefully that's not spreading to everybody else in the household. Obviously, this spreads person to person, so that's something to be very concerned about. Again, just try to be smart about it. Again, just hand washing, proper hand washing. Make sure you're washing your hands. Like I said, clean everything. There's too many unknowns at this point, and that's the frightening part about this. Way too many unknowns. So, again, just be smart. That's my advice to you guys. Just be smart about it. Just prepare, get ready. If this thing really does jump off in the United States, which I do believe it has the potential to do, again, you're going to be thankful that you got ready ahead of time. And so there's going to be, like I said, because if it does really go rampant in the United States, it's going to get really, really dangerous to be out in public. And not just because of the virus, just because of people. Someone earlier on here said that animals are dying in China too. Scary. John, I don't know if that is true or not. I don't have that information, so I can't confirm or deny that. But if that's the case, that would be really bad as well. Would it surprise me? No, it would not surprise me. But, look at all the animals that they've had to cull over there. They had to cull all those pigs, and now they're culling a whole bunch of chickens because of other viruses. So, again, when you have those huge farms, guys, and you have thousands and thousands of pigs and thousands of chickens, that's a recipe for disaster. There's going to be issues, okay? I'm going to tell you what, I got my flock of 18 chickens, and I love my chickens. I think they're the most awesome thing. If some of them end up laying on eggs this spring and I have more chickens, well, we'll deal with that as the time comes. But, I'm not going to purposely go out and get a whole bunch more. I like what I have as far as my flock goes. And again, if any of them set and they make more baby chickens, that's okay. That's going to replace the older chickens. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. But I like my chickens. You guys know that. So let's see. They're being killed by their owners to eat. I think that's what they said. Oh, okay. Choo Choo just said that. That wouldn't surprise me because, again, let's talk about the logistics of trying to feed 400 million people in lockdown. That has got to be just insane to try to feed that many people. I can't even imagine what that has to be like. Very, very scary stuff. Very scary stuff. I can tell you right now, too, guys, I almost guarantee it. As soon as this video goes up, it will be demonetized, and they will not give it back, and that's fine. I'm still going to give the information. I'm going to still share the information. I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give you the facts as they're given to us, and then we can use our own speculation in our own minds to think, are we being given true numbers or not true numbers? YouTube is going to do that. That's what they're going to do, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to be afraid to post stuff because I'm not going to get paid. I don't care. I think it's information that needs to be shared. Again, what my biggest thing that I want to do, and I've talked about this over and over and over again, and I'll say it right now, I want to teach you guys to help yourselves. If 10 of you out of the 1,300 people that are watching, if 10 of you go out there, get ready, prepare to shelter in place. And if this thing jumps off and you survive because you listen to what I said, that's worth everything to me. Human life is worth way more than anything else. So again, I'm a big believer. You prepare for the worst and you hope for the best. So I will continue to share information no matter what. Like I said, they can demonetize it. That's fine. It's not like I'm on here lying, because I'm not. When I think it's an opinion, it's my opinion, I'm going to tell you it's my opinion. If it's what they're giving us, the numbers are giving us, that's what I'm going to give you. So, hey Ed, are you going to be pulling Heather out of school? ICU 812 just said that. As things continue on, and like I said earlier, I talked about this. I had lunch with my kids yesterday, and I sat down with them both, and I said, if this thing continues to take off, and if it really gets a foothold in the U.S., you guys are coming home. So yes, I have talked to both of them, and that they will come home. So that is no doubt. At this point right now, still the answer would be no, because what is being reported right now in the United States, it's not that bad. If we start seeing people dropping like flies, then we got to change our tune, okay? But we have to pay attention. Because of this live stream, we went out and got gloves, masks, and more hand sanitizer, and using it all around our sick son. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. That's Autism Mom is saying that. So thank you I'm glad you're doing that. That's, like I said, that's what I want. I want you to be able to help yourselves. If we have to shelter in place, guys, you're going to be really, really grateful that you did something for yourself at that point. Don't think about, again, so let's go back to 400 million people in China sheltering in place, forced mandatory sheltering in place in their homes. How many of that 400 million do you think are prepared or ready for a long-term shelter-in-place situation? Ed, hope this helps with the demonetization. We are all in this together. I'm trying to say, hold on, let me read your name here. Nose matches. All right. Well, thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate that. Thank you. Like I said, I'm going to share the information with you guys if they demonetize it or not. They're demonetizing everybody. You look at the different videos, okay, that are coming out about the coronavirus. There's no commercials on those. They're not paying anybody for that. So it's not just me. I don't want you to think, I'm doing the poor me, poor, awesome, horrible. No, they're doing it to everybody. They're trying to control the narrative. What does that tell you? Okay, this is where we put our thinking caps on. Okay, because of what they're doing, what are they trying to control? What are they trying to really control the narrative? Okay, so that's something to think about. Guys, we're at 1.3 in the chat. We're at almost 800 thumbs up. If you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, guys, I would ask you to do that. And thank you, if you would, to show support for the channel. I'm going to mention one more time at this point right now, the sale on my website at at preppernurse1.com. We're doing 20% off on the freeze-dried food, the Legacy freeze-dried food. If you go on the website, you will see that. The 20% off is taken at checkout, so whatever price you see, minus 20% off of that. The only thing not on sale with the Legacy foods is this, the sample packs. So anything else on there, if you want to add to your freeze-dried food, it's a good time to do so. I definitely encourage you to take advantage of that. That's why we did the sale. People were asking. The sale is ending on Sunday. So this Sunday, the sale ends midnight West Coast time. So we've got a couple more days to take advantage of that if you want to. And I'll tell you right now, I won't be doing another sale again for a while after this one. I'm not going to be in 2 weeks throwing up another sale. That's not how it's going to go. So if you want to take advantage and save yourself 20%, now is the time to do so. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Can you do your own sanitizer with aloe vera and the highest percentage of alcohol you can find? I imagine you probably could, but if it's there already for you, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just go and get it if you can get it? That doesn't make sense that you would try to make your own. Definitely think you need to get hand sanitizer as well. Hand washing, hand sanitizer. If you're going to the store, guys, make sure you're wiping those carts down. My friend at Tyson says